Okay, England have beaten Bulgaria 4-0 at Wembley. It's a tale of two halves. This is actually not going to be a very long review because the difference in quality of the two halves, the first half being actually really not great quality, pretty average to be honest, and the second half showing what England can do when they put their mind to it. The first half, well, England are lucky to come out of that first half 1-0. They were sloppy at the back, they were too slow-paced in possession, and the only reason why they get a goal is because Bulgaria decided to have a moment of madness with one of the most comical passing triangles you'll ever see, and Sterling just being loitering around the box, pressurising the defender, nicks the ball off him after the goalkeeper gives him a horrendous hospital pass and passes it to a goal-hanging Harry Kane. That's on 23 minutes. On 18 minutes, Harry Kane scores a goal that's offside. It's the best move England create in that first half when they attack with pace, and I'm going to come back to this for what happens in the second half. But for the most part of that first half, England was sloppy at the back, they lacked intensity, and they had a lot of the ball and didn't do a lot with it. And it's all well and great having this possession. But if you don't have that possession with pace on it and movement, because a lot of the England players were very static. Very static. There's no movement up front. Aimless passing for passing's sake, it seems. No intensity on the ball, no pace on the ball. And it was actually a pretty dreary first half. And England were sloppy in defence. Trippier and Rose getting caught out of position too often and spacing behind. And the Bulgarian side was actually quite an aged side when it comes to the difference between the average ages of the two teams. They had a starting level with 7 players over the age of 30. It's not a young Bulgarian squad, to say the least, and it's not a squad full of Haristovs and Stoichkovs and Petrovs. This is This is one of the weakest Bulgarian sides I think Bulgaria has fielded in a very, very long time. Half time could not actually come soon enough because that wasn't a great first half. There's hide no bones that. Apart from Harry Kane's offside goal and Kane's goal by basically Bulgaria gifting England a goal by just chronic play. Just, you don't do that. Not at this level. Wasn't great. Second half, completely opposite. England playing the ball with pace, doing stuff with the possession and creating chances because they're passing at pace, there's movement up front, the counter-attack is really good. Still not sold on the defence, but going forward, when England have a lot of the ball and they move the ball with pace, they are effective. Very, very effective. And the more they stretched Bulgaria, the more Bulgaria just fell apart. Kane's first penalty comes from Rashford's run. Rashford basically counter-attacking, runs most of the length of the field and is fouled in the box. He attacks the Bulgarian defensive line with pace, they panic, they bring him down. Harry Kane, well, he gets a lot of his goals for England from the penalty spot and he duly obliges with a penalty. That's his second of the game, his second goal of the game. Smashes it past the goalkeeper. Sterling's goal 6 minutes later again comes from pacey attack and great build-up play from the whole England team. It is quick, it is incisive, there is energy there, and it's good positioning for Sterling. It's not a great finish by Sterling, it bounces in off his thigh, but it's the run he makes into the box. The space has been created because there is pace on the ball and there is pace in the attack, something that was lacking in the first half, and he's just there as a poacher's finish. His positioning has improved. His general play has improved. There is still some rough edges with Sterling, even at this stage of his career. But he's a very quick player, he's a very elusive player. When there is pace on the ball and there's pace in the game, the space creates itself. And a player like Sterling, who's got fleet of foot and is quick, can just ghost into positions and lose his marker. And that is more of a counter-attacking team goal than just Sterling poaching one. That is a tactical team goal in the sense that press with pace, get the ball back, pass with pace, move the ball around, move the defence around, and then the forward ghosts in and gets a very, very well-deserved goal for a lot of hard work in this game. Kane's second penalty and his hat-trick goal again comes from the same principle of moving the ball with pace. He almost gets caught up with Jadon Sancho on the right wing, but he gets away with it. It sort of actually leads to the foul from the Bulgarian player, who takes away his standing leg, and again drives the ball past the goalkeeper to the goalkeeper's right. All three of these goals are created by pace being on the ball. High energy, which was lacking in the first half, has been replaced in the second. Defensively, however, England are still suspect. I'm still not sold on Jordan Pickford at international level. There was an error that led to a free kick, very similar to the first England goal. Overplaying at the back, stupid pass out. Sometimes just put the laces through it. I do not understand the obsession with getting keepers to pass out all the time. Sometimes just leather it. Just good old fashioned half volley, leather it, put the laces through it. And it leads to a free kick, which then Pickford does save, but England shouldn't be in that position by being sloppy. There are moments in both halves where England did give the ball away. And another frustration I have with this England side is the core has been together now for several years. You would think they would have some good combinations going. Sterling and Kane, for example. Rashford on the wing. You've got Henderson in midfield, etc., etc. Too many offsides. And that's something that is a bugbear. It's far too many offsides. When you have these combinations that have now worked together for some time, got to a World Cup semi-final, you should not be getting caught offside that much. You should be able to time your runs. If you know, like Harry Kane, you're not the quickest of forwards, positioning is key. And in the first half, Harry Kane was standing like a concrete statue at times. There was a lack of movement up front. Second half, far better. Clearly, Southgate has said, had a word with them, but this is there are some areas for improvement, because if they play like that against the better side, they don't get the win. Second half, far better than the first, but the first half was dreary, and they were lucky with the goal because of what I can only describe as comical Bulgarian play. You couldn't make it up if you tried. It has to be seen to be believed. But England are guilty of that in the second half after Harry Kane's hat-trick. They are guilty of a similar overplaying from the back. I do not understand the obsession with coaches telling their keepers to act like sweepers 100% of the time. Sometimes just allow the keeper, just tell him, just put your foot through it. And the keepers have got to actually be tuned on to actually remember, you can't just belt it out for a throw-in. Clear the danger. Overplaying from the back is a bugbear of mine as well. Even Manuel Neuer, possibly one of the best sweeper keepers that is in the game right now, makes howlers like this more regularly than people think. It's a bugbear. Sometimes simple is best. But England deserve the win for their second half performance, but they need to put in a full 90-minute performance if they are to do anything at Euro 2020 and to possibly get their first trophy since 1966 at senior level. But there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts below. I've also got some other big footballing news that's happening at Watford to discuss in another video. A sacking and a hiring within the space of 15 minutes at Watford, and there's a lot to discuss on that kind of thing. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll have some more videos for you very soon.